today's fast-paced world, every child or most children or most young adults would really love to just finish their first degree and hit the labor market. They want to start working, they want to be able to make money. This drive is very good, it's encouraging, it's critical, it's needed. However, furthering your education is important. And I've come to realize that it's usually the parent or the guardian that sort of like pushes parent, guardian, maybe sometimes your spouse, friends sometimes, but my focus today is the parent or the guardian. I didn't want to further my education, my master's. I didn't have it in my mind. I just wanted to start working. In fact, I already started working, but as an intern, as a graduate intern in one of the TV stations back then, but my dad forced me. As soon as I was done with my National Youth Service Corps, a program in Nigeria, he asked me to go straight to school. I wasn't prepared for the exams. I wasn't ready. I wasn't willing. But one way or the other, he was able to convince me to further my education. And I am so happy, grateful, and appreciative of my dad for encouraging me to go that route. Why? Because it's been such a blessing to me today. My encouragement is sometimes we might not understand and we might not want to further education, especially when it comes from our parents. And sometimes some parents can be a bit forceful because they are our parents and they want the best for us. Sometimes the communication is not done right. But I believe firmly that it's for a good cause, especially when they are willing to pay the fees. Because, my dear, when you begin to pay school fee, you will understand the value of one pushing you to further education and also being willing to sponsor that education. So if you're in a phase where you're wondering if you should start working and you have the opportunity to be sponsored by your parents or your guardian, I will advise you to grab it because there'll be you have lots of time to work, but please take that opportunity. And then for our beloved parents, peer pressure is a bit high, and in today's fast-paced and modern world, teenagers are making lots of buck, a lot of money online. They are working, young students are making money, they are just eager to get into that space. So it's important not to shove or force education down their throats. Try to communicate and speak to their emotions and let them know why it's important to do this at this time, so they don't live a life of regrets. There are always phases in life, and time is of essence. So some persons have asked me how emotional intelligence is as important as financial support from the parents. I'm not a psychologist, but I would say yes, you provide the finances for the child to go to school, and usually in this part of where I come from, the expectation is we've paid your school fees, you have to come out with good, you have to go and come back with good grades, but that emotional availability and intelligence is so critical and important because a child uses his or her emotions to study, A child uses his or her emotions to be present in school. The fees is paid and it's gone. The child wanted to study, but the child needs to be, not the child, but the student needs to be emotionally present to be able to carry out their academic activities. So it's important that as a parent, I'm not a parent yet, but I think it's also it's very important. As a parent, mentor, guardian, it's important to be emotionally available because sometimes that strand of emotional support is really all that a student needs. Communication sometimes is awkward between a child and the parents, especially parents of advanced age. I think our dispensations are very different, and so communication can be awkward sometimes in some homes, but communication is really key, and obedience as a student is important because Mama and Papa wants the best for you. Thank you so much for watching and have a lovely day ahead. Bye.